Qi Yongye and the others stood seething, their faces twisted in pure rage. To be commanded to kneel and lick another's shoes, a humiliation beyond measure. If Wei Hei Lei had been a gushing spring-tier martial artist or a black-grade alchemist, then perhaps such an outrageous demand could be tolerated. But he was nothing more than a yellow-grade, low-level alchemist and a mere first-layer element-gathering martial artist at that. What audacity did he possess to make such grandiose demands? It seemed that those born in the imperial city truly believed themselves superior to all others. "You've gone too far," Jin Wuji's voice rang out sharply, his anger palpable. "Wei Hei Li, you're but a lowly yellow-grade alchemist. How dare you speak so arrogantly?" Wei Hei Li chuckled, a cold, mocking smile curling his lips as he regarded Jin Wuji. "You dare defy me?" His confidence was unshaken. Indeed, he was only a yellow-grade low-level alchemist at present, but his future was limitless. Why else would Feng Luo, a man of such stature, befriend him so eagerly? Of course, the reason for Feng Luo's interest lay in Feng Yan. Without Feng Yan's support, Wei Hei Lei would not have taken a mere martial artist from the element-gathering tier seriously. He held enormous potential in alchemy, and Feng Yan, a future ruler of martial arts, would one day be the most powerful figure. In this world, strength ruled all. No matter how powerful an alchemist became, they would always need the backing of a mighty martial artist to ascend. Jin Wuji, his hands clenched in fury, felt the urge to strike out. Wei Hei Li was still in the first layer of element-gathering tier, and had likely only reached this level through the aid of alchemical pills. With a single hand behind his back, Jin Wuji could easily subdue him. His status as a mere yellow-grade alchemist was no concern, for there would never come a day when he would have to rely on such a low-ranking alchemist. The real issue, however, was the potential for Wei Hei Lei to be taken as a disciple by Wu Songlin. A black-grade high-level alchemist, Wu Songlin was far grander and more influential than the two black-grade low-level alchemists who had once supported Ling Han. That looming shadow of Wu Songlin's presence weighed heavily upon Jin Wuji and the others. Jin Wuji's expression darkened, but his lips remained sealed. "What right do you have to be so arrogant?" Bailey Tengyun's youth and fiery temper made him all too eager to speak out. As a citizen of Dayuan City, he feared nothing. Not even a future black-grade alchemist, he had no qualms about offending Wei Hei Lei. Wei Hei Li's lips curled into a disdainful smile. "Are you challenging me?" he sneered. Bailey Tengyun stood tall and firm, his chin lifted in defiance. "So what if I am?" "Are you brave enough to face me in battle?" he retorted with arrogance. Before Wei Hei Lei could respond, 3 other figures appeared. Each radiated a powerful aura, all reaching the 9th layer of element-gathering tier. "So it's you 3. Wei Hei Lei glanced at the newcomers, a faint smile of indifference on his face. "Young Master Wei, have you encountered some kind of trouble?" one of the newcomers asked with a grin. Dressed in green battle robes, he was a tall figure, exuding confidence. Wei Hei Lei merely smirked and pointed a finger at Bailey Tengyun. "This fool says he wants to challenge me." The man in green roared with laughter. "Ha! Where did this idiot come from, daring to challenge young Master Wei?" He raised a hand, crooked his finger, and gestured toward Bailey Tengyun. "Come, come, come! I'll be your opponent." Bailey Tengyun was ready to retaliate, but Qi Yongye intervened. "Wen Haixing, when did you become so childish? An elite ranked among the top 100, and yet you seek to bully a junior who's just entered the academy?" The green-clad man, now noticing Qi Yongye, clasped his hands together and raised them respectfully. "Ah, it's the King of Eternal Night," he said with mock admiration. "No wonder you dare to oppose young Master Wei. The 4th Prince of Dayuan City certainly carries a domineering presence." His praise for Qi Yongye seemed genuine, but beneath it lay a veiled challenge. Wei Hei Lei's expression hardened. "So you are of noble blood," he said, his voice dripping with disdain. "No wonder you act with such arrogance." He had been a prodigy in alchemy since his youth, and everyone in his generation had tried to win his favor. Naturally, he resented Qi Yongye's interference, as it threatened his carefully crafted position. "Ling Han, are you going to kneel or not?" Feng Luo's voice sliced through the tension, his tone full of venom. He despised Ling Han the most, and despite Qi Yongye's royal standing, Feng Luo held no fear of offending him. "So this is Feng Yan's younger brother. Wen Haixing said with sudden realization, his eyes flashing with understanding. The group's demeanor shifted, and despite their disdain for Feng Luo, they showed respect in public. Feng Yan's strength was unmatched, and rumors spoke of his potential to challenge the core disciples. One of the newcomers, Shen Yushuan, fixed Ling Han with a cold stare. "Brat, hear me now," he warned. "If you fail to satisfy younger brother disciple Feng Luo, you'll leave the academy on a stretcher." "I, Mi Zhongguang, second that," the third of the newcomers added, his tone equally menacing. Feng Luo's laughter echoed through the space. "Ling Han, do you still dare defy me? Who do you think you are?" "You've humiliated me time and again. I am worth more than you could ever comprehend." His voice was full of disdain and pride. Wei Li and the others smiled, their expressions full of contempt. A mere foreign student, newly enrolled, was not worth their attention. They reserved their ire for those of true status, such as the heirs of the 8 great clans. Outside the entrance, the guards of the Spiritual Treasures Pavilion watched without concern. As long as no one caused trouble within the pavilion, they would not interfere, no matter the chaos. "Kneel!" Feng Luo's roar shattered the silence. "Kneel to your sister!" Ling Han shot back, his hand moving swiftly toward Feng Luo. "How dare you?" The 3 newcomers, Wen Haixing, Mi Zhongguang, and Shen Yushuan, acted in unison, their 9th layer element-gathering power emanating with overwhelming force. None of them were weaker than Qi Yongye, and their simultaneous attack was terrifying. Ling Han, using the exiting cloud steps, swiftly evaded their grasp, his movements unpredictable and lightning fast. The 3 were left stunned as Ling Han, who had appeared weak in their eyes, broke through their siege with ease. Ling Han reached Feng Luo in an instant, and without hesitation, he raised his hand toward the arrogant youth. "You dare!" Wei Hei's voice turned sharp as he stepped forward, positioning himself between Feng Luo and Ling Han. His body shifted to the side, fully aware of his position as a yellow-grade alchemist. He knew that Ling Han would never dare strike him. However, before his thoughts could fully materialize, a slap from Ling Han sent him flying through the air. Ling Han wasn't done. Another slap sent Feng Luo crashing to the ground. Before Feng Luo could recover, Ling Han's foot pressed firmly against his face. "You bastard, you dare step on me?" Feng Luo wailed in panic, his voice full of rage and humiliation. "You're finished! My brother will kill you!" Feng Luo's cries echoed, but his threats were hollow. This was the Imperial City, where murder was a grave crime, and even a spoiled young master like him could not make good on his words. Wei Li stood by, his face twisted with fury. How could he be struck like this? This insolence would not go unpunished. It was then that a familiar voice broke through the tension. "Yi, younger brother disciple Wei?" A young man and woman approached, the woman's gaze falling on Wei Li. Upon recognizing him, her face lit up with surprise. "Elder sister disciple Li." Wei Li immediately stood, lowering his hands in respect. He was unusually humble before her. The woman was none other than Li Xichan, the most talented disciple of Wu Songlin, the very person Wei Li revered above all others. Even if he became Wu Songlin's disciple, he would always hold Li Xichan in the highest regard. The young man who had walked in alongside Li Xichan wore a furious expression as he glared. Who dares show such disrespect to an alchemist? "It's He Jun Chen." Qi Yongye's brow furrowed at the sight. A true disciple, 2nd layer of the gushing spring tier. His voice was not low, his intention to warn Ling Han about the formidable figure now before them clear. Wei Li, however, smiled coldly. With an elite of the 2nd layer of gushing spring tier backing him, he was sure that no matter how strong Ling Han was, he couldn't turn the tide of this confrontation. He said, "Big brother He, this brat is far too arrogant. He first bullied elder brother disciple Feng Yan's younger brother, Feng Luo, and because I could not stand by idly, I spoke up, and this brat in return slapped me down to the ground." "Oh? Then let me see who's so bold," He Jun Chen replied icily. "Ling Han." Li Xichan finally spotted Ling Han and could not help but step forward. "Where are you staying now? I've been searching for you everywhere." Hiss! What was the connection between these two? At the sound of Li Xichan's words, a murmur swept through the crowd. Could it be that they... He Jun Chen's expression darkened instantly. He had long harbored affection for Li Chan, and to hear his crush speak such ambiguous words stung him deeply, as though a fly had lodged in his throat. No, 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 it's my master who's looking for you. Li Chan quickly corrected herself, realizing the awkwardness of her words. Oh, what does your master want with me? Ling Han asked, completely nonchalant. Master would like to invite you for tea, Li Chan replied. Pooh! Everyone immediately choked in disbelief. Who was Li Chan's master? Wu Songlin. And who was Wu Songlin? A black-grade high-level alchemist, headmaster of the alchemy department, an incredibly important figure who could make the entire Rain Country tremble with a mere step. For such a figure to invite Ling Han for tea? Hiss, how many could claim such an honor? Clan heads of the 8 great clans, the pavilion master of Heaven's Medicine Pavilion, headmaster of the martial arts department. These were the only people of comparable stature. Yet here was Ling Han, a mere new student at Huyang Academy, seemingly on the same level as these esteemed figures of Rain Country. I don't have time, Ling Han said calmly. Pooh! Once again, everyone was left speechless, their disbelief reaching new heights. Wu Songlin's tea invitation. Not even the clan heads of the 8 great clans would dare reject it, let alone so bluntly. This young man was truly something else, rejecting the offer so decisively. Qi Yongye, Bailey Tengyun, and the others exchanged glances, their hearts racing with excitement. They had bet on the right person. Even they had not expected Ling Han, a mere newcomer to Huyang Academy, to already have such ties with Wu Songlin, a black-grade high-level alchemist, and such a good relationship at that. If they knew that even the pavilion master of Heaven's Medicine Pavilion, another black-grade high-level alchemist in Rain Country, had to address Ling Han as Young Master Han, they would surely be in for an even greater shock. Release me, damn it! You dared step on me. I will not spare you. Feng Luo's voice wailed from beneath Ling Han's foot. His face was pressed firmly into the ground, and even if he had heard the conversation, he would have never understood the significance of the name Wu Songlin. At that moment, everyone's attitude shifted at once. Ling Han was now someone whom even Wu Songlin wanted to invite for tea. Who would dare oppose him? Feng Yan might have had a bright future, but how could he compare to a black-grade, high-level alchemist? Wei Hei Lei, by comparison, was irrelevant in their eyes. He wasn't even Wu Songlin's personal disciple yet. Apologies for our earlier offense. Please forgive us, younger brother disciple Ling. We will come to formally apologize at another time. Wen Haixing and the others clasped their hands together and bowed in apology, their voices filled with regret. In their hearts, they cursed Wei Hei Lei and Feng Luo. Had it not been for them, they never would have crossed paths with Ling Han. Ling Han waved dismissively. He had never taken these 3 seriously in the first place. Wen Haixing and his companions felt their anger evaporate. When they recalled that Ling Han was someone Wu Songlin had invited for tea, they realized that there was no point in holding a grudge. If Wu Songlin had treated them in the same way, would they dare to be angry? Of course not. Meanwhile, Qi Yongye and the others stood with a sense of satisfaction, clearly pleased to witness the reversal of fortune. The arrogance they had shown earlier had been completely wiped away, and now they strutted with their heads held high, looking down at the others. Wen Haixing and his companions did not dare to speak, hastily turning to leave, not even bothering to attend the auction. How could they focus on the auction now? Instead, all they could think about was how they would make amends with Ling Han in the future. Wei Hei Li's expression flickered, his mind working furiously. Finally, he clenched his teeth and approached Ling Han, bowing low. Young Master Han, I was ignorant. I beg your forgiveness for my actions. Who are you? Ling Han asked calmly. Wei Hei Li felt as though he had been struck by a bolt of lightning. You didn't lose anything, he thought bitterly, and yet I'm the one apologizing, yet you won't even acknowledge it. Younger brother disciple, do you have a misunderstanding with Ling Han? Li Chan's voice grew cold as she stepped forward, her eyes narrowing. She knew full well the high regard in which her master held Ling Han. Her master practically revered him as a grandmaster alchemist, and this fool dares to cross him? It's nothing much, Wei Hei Lei replied, downplaying the matter. It's just a small misunderstanding between Brother Ling and young Master Luo. I attempted to mediate, but they both got too hot-headed. causing this confusion. He spoke while glaring at Ling Han, but his eyes burned with resentment. The shock earlier had shaken him, but he still couldn't believe that Wu Songlin would ever invite Ling Han to tea. Who were these two people? How could they possibly be connected? It must be that Lisi Chan was looking for Ling Han, and fearing others might find out, she had pushed the blame onto Wu Songlin. After all, who would dare confirm this with Wu Songlin? That was the answer. Although he showed respect to Lisi Chan, now that he believed he had discovered her weakness, he grew bold. Brother Wei, you've spoken too lightly, haven't you? Jin Wuji said with a cold laugh. Just a moment ago, you wanted Ling Han to kneel and lick Feng Luo's shoes. What? Lisi Chan's face turned icy as she glared at Wei He Li. It was as though she were looking at a dead man. She would definitely report this matter to Wu Songlin. Given Wu Songlin's respect for Ling Han, it was unclear if Wei He Li would even be allowed to remain in the alchemy department, let alone become Wu Songlin's personal disciple. Elder sister disciple Li, you mustn't just listen to their side of the story. Wei He Li scrambled, unwilling to give an inch. Ling Han, when are you going to lift your foot? Feng Luo's voice came out strained, filled with embarrassment and anger. Still lying on the ground, his face firmly pressed into the earth, he couldn't escape Ling Han's foot. Ling Han snorted, applying more pressure, causing Feng Luo to howl in agony. His face contorted in pain as he struggled to speak. Don't worry, I won't kill him here. A chill ran down everyone's spine. The implication was clear. Ling Han wasn't done with Feng Luo yet.